Hey, it's your girl, Copper Color Creations, and I am back, family. How is everybody doing out there? Hey, today is a beautiful day here in Arizona. Everybody is happy because for the last 3 days, family, it has been raining. All right, now, shout out to my ancestors, my spirit guides, my archangels, the divine creator of heaven and earth, family. Yes, I want to make sure I give all the glory to my ancestors because the name of this video is Who Are My Ancestors? Part 4, family. This one is the Family Betrayal Edition. Yes, we're gonna talk a little bit about everything on this one. When it talks about who are your ancestors, I'm really being sarcastic, and I'll explain that. But before I get started, I want to go over some things. Before we get started into the video, I always got to go over some things first. So, I'm going to be speaking about a couple individuals. And I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 aunts on my dad's side. Okay. So I have 3 aunts on my dad's side. And we're going to call them the power of 3. Okay. These 3 don't like me, never liked me. I don't know why, but I'll explain why soon. So we got the power of 3, and we are going to get into a couple things. I want to make this very clear, and this is not just to my family. This is to a couple other people out there. So, hey, I want people to understand the difference between a witch and a druid. Okay? I have been accused of being a witch and doing black magic and dark arts and all of those above, which is not true. I mean, I really don't care about how people feel or think because I know my mission and purpose on earth, but I just thought it was be very important to explain what a witch versus a druid is. Okay, see, my ancestors they were druids, okay? And so the druids worked with elements, okay? Um, and they did magic to help humanity, okay? A witch is someone who conjures up evil spirits and attacks people, in secret. We have voodoo practitioners, and, we have people that do this for a living on the dark art side of it. Yes, they do magic, they do spells, they do everything. They do death spells, and they're paid thousands and thousands of dollars to do that, to, help people manipulate the energy, which is called black magic. Now, so if you know, I just wanted to make that clear. I have never and will never dip and dab in dark arts. I am a child of the lights. Okay? I don't believe in being deceitful and doing things in secret, thinking that you're going to get away with it. You will never get away with it. So, I've never dealt in it. I wouldn't recommend anybody do it. It's very dangerous. Okay. So I just wanted that to be known. I have family members, and I have an ex running around stating that I am a witch doing black magic. And honey, I don't have to get up and chant, or I don't even have to think about anybody. I don't have to do any of that. All right. My prayer and meditation does not contain chants, evil eye, and devil energy worship. Okay? That's something I wouldn't recommend. Now, I will tell you what I do. Okay? Something that I do practice. All right? I do practice protection. All right? I do sage myself, and I do return to senders only because of how I move and the messages I give out. I know people are not going to be very happy with me. So I protect my family at all times, at all costs. So, with that being said, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So if you are sending evil eye, negative energy, going to voodoo doctors in New Orleans, paying for death spells, paying for me to lose my mind, doing beauty magic, whatever you are doing in secrets, that energy is automatically going to return back to sender only because I do my return to senders. Okay? No negative energy, no evil eye, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So I have warned many to be very careful when you come in my energy, okay, on low vibrational frequencies, all right, because I can pick up on what it is you're doing, who you are, and I will return it regardless of who you are, automatically. Not only am I returning to senders, my ancestors are protecting me. I told y'all I was divinely guided and divinely protected. All right. So if you sent the death spell, or lose all my money spell, or hope I don't find love spell, that's gonna go back to you. And that's not gonna affect me. My manifestations are already coming. They're coming in slowly. I can see them. I can feel them. I can feel my manifestations coming. So no man, no woman, no power of three witches, the ones that I know, the ones that I don't even know. I got some people working against me I don't even know. That don't know I know that I know. But it's all good. Just know I protect myself. Okay? You ain't finna run up in my energy, all right, with all that negative diabolical. You know what? It's been addressed, all right? And we know the devil is not real, but the energy is right now. And honey, be careful with your friends, your family, and your foe, okay? Because if they are vibing too low, they will enter your vessel, these low vibrational entities, depending on what you into, okay? They will take full control and they will grab your mind, body, and soul, and take over your vessel if you are vibing low. Now, porn, drugs, alcohol, I don't have to list all the low vibrational things. You know when you doing wrong. Your intuition tell you you're wrong. Your ancestors give you signs and synchronous. So I don't have to move or speak any forward. Just know that be very careful with the energy that you put out here. Because like I said, I don't dibble and dabble, but I do protect myself. I got my protection crystals. I keep them charged, cleansed. I got my sage. I sage myself daily. My house, my family, like I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep your aurora cleansed at all times. And that's not, I mean, you don't have to be getting attacked, you know. You just, it's something I would do anyway, especially if you communicate with a lot of people and touch a lot of people and shake hands with a lot of people. You got to do some spiritual cleansing to keep your spiritual hygiene and your aurora clean. Okay? So you can jump in your Merkaba. All right, family. Oh, another thing I want to talk about. This time, I think I put a lot of my notes in my phone. Let's talk about it. All right, so I've been getting a lot of downloads, mainly about, all the documents that are classified. We're not talking about declassified. We talk about classified, hidden documents that the CIA, first of all, shout out to the CIA, all right? Shout out to them. They have been working, I'm talking about spending millions and millions of dollars, okay? Just trying to tap into what happens, with death and reincarnation, and they want to know, what happens. So they have teamed up. Well, first of all, the project family is called the Gateway Project. It's run through the Monroe Project, okay? And they have been spending millions of dollars, you know, and we're not talking about just no little research. We're talking about high level intelligence agencies spending big top dollars looking for ways to control reincarnation. So, I'm just like, okay, first of all, they got the whole wide world, thinking that reincarnation is just a fantasy. Okay? Which is not, family. They got people thinking you only live one life, so you better live your best life. That's a lie. And it's not just a belief. This is physics. And the CIA is spending millions and millions of dollars to keep this a secret, that death is not the end, it's just an illusion, that our minds are not bound by time and space. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Did I? Yes, I said it. I'm hoping to motivate others to look further into this. Our government, tyrannic, I said it, tyrannic government, okay? They want to control us in this life and through the whole reincarnation process, because reincarnation is supposed to be a natural process. It's supposed to be a natural process. But, the CIA and our government, once they discovered some things that happens when you die, then, they wanted to take control of what happens in our afterlife or how we reincarnate back here, okay? To get stuck in a loop when you're supposed to evolve and ascend. But here's the thing. It's just so diabolical. If only everybody knew, they would change their life and live differently this lifetime. Because you are not just this identity, just this lifetime. Who were you before is really the most important question. Who were you before you reincarnated into this life? I'm talking about this lifetime right now. This lifetime right now. Who were you before you reincarnated back here on this realm? Because, see, what I believe is that we were all somebody great. We got many lives, Liz. Many of us remember who we were, and many of us don't. We have to tap in. We have to detox our mind, body, and soul, activate our pineal gland. We got to tap in, go out in nature. We have to go within, heal that inner childhood. We have to remember our past lives. That's the most important part of your life right now, at this moment, is remembering who you were before this life. Because what they have done, what our government has done is they have, on so many evil and wicked levels, erased a lot of our memories from our past lives, so we won't remember how great of a legacy, how great of a people we were, how great of a civilization our ancestors had, So it's very, very, very important for you to tap into your past life memories, family. Because let me tell you something. I know how I died my past life. I know who I am. They know who we are. A lot of us, they already know who we are. Okay? And it's not by ancestry DNA. All right? I'm going to talk about that a little further as well. Okay? Now, this would explain, the satellites they have, GPS tracking everybody. If you don't know, you know. The real satellites are at the bottom of the ocean. Okay? All right? The communications, the internet, that's at the bottom of the ocean. All right? So all the satellites that's in the sky are for tracking us and tracing us. Okay? So everyone that took the juicy juice is being GPS tracked. That's why it's important to remove your metals out your body. All right? Everything doesn't work on everybody. All right? Everything don't work on everybody. Who is going to wage war on the saints? Let's see who's gonna wage war on the saints, because my ancestors have been giving me some downloads, and I have a lot of questions. And I just want to, I want to elevate the mind here. You're much more than who you think you are. Is basically, I want everyone to know. You are not just John Doe. You're not just your name, and you were birthed into this realm and to live this hell of a life. You are so much more. So much more. Okay? And so once you remember who you are in your past life, all the pieces and the puzzles will click together. All right? I mean, these people think that our ancestors are not aware of what's going on, but they have no idea that, history has been rewritten to fit a certain narrative. And the truth is not in any of these books, family. All right? The truth has been burned and buried, remember. All right? And you're not going to get it from man. Man knows the truth, but man wants to keep power and control over the whole world. Okay? Okay? But see, but God, divine intervention. See, if there wasn't a creator of heaven and earth, then the lies would continue. No one would get exposed. Okay? If you don't believe, then I guarantee you the year of 1025, because like I said, they changed times and laws. So if you are doing any of your research, okay, if you're doing anything and you are not starting in your mind with the thought that they added 1,000 years, okay, to history to remove things and confuse us and make it a mystery puzzle. If you don't start your research with that knowledge of knowing that 1,000 years was added, then you are going to stay confused. Okay? Because whenever I do my video, Who Are My Ancestors, and I didn't have the visual up this time, I always start with how many ancestors I got working with me, whether you believe me or not. And everybody is giving me knowledge. I have so many ancestors that are giving me the idea of, see, here's the thing. A couple years ago, I had a question about the moon. I'm like, it don't feel natural. That was my first download. And I just started asking my ancestors, like, what's up with the moon? Like, is it natural? Was it here at the beginning? And so I just did so much research to find out that the moon has not always been here. The moon was orbited into Earth, okay? When it happened, it caused a catastrophe. That's what I do know. I have some ancestors stating that the reason people don't know this is because it was passed down orally through the Arch Indians. Okay, those were the first people to witness no moon. And so that would make a lot of sense to kill off a whole civil. So I have done so much research. I'm not done, but it makes a lot of sense. So in the 1300s, I did some research that they killed off a whole civilization only because they knew the truth about death, that death is not the end, it's an illusion. You just change your frequency. And so, they killed our ancestors. They swiped them out because they knew the truth about death. And there was a civilization in Tibet that knew about what happens when you die, and they killed them off. And so I'm just trying to put the two together, that everyone that knows about this is getting whacked off. Now, that makes me really go harder, because like, if you're taking out a whole civilization only because it was orally passed down that death is an illusion and there's an afterlife that you must face, then what else is being manipulated and hidden from us? I mean, these are very, very important questions that we need to be asking, instead of dancing to Kendrick and arguing over these celebrities that mean nothing to us at all in the spiritual realm. No value, zero, zip zada. Okay? I mean, I think it's important that people know the truth. Okay? I think it's important that people know why the moon is here, why it entered the orbit of Earth. I mean, it gets deep, and I'm gonna discuss that on another video as well. But dig deep. You can't just be reading these books out here. These people are 50 years ahead of us. They have literally replaced, rewrote, manipulated, twisted, flipped us upside down, inside out, to confuse us of who we are, to confuse us of who we were in our past life. And so I think it's important, if you want to break these generational curses, that you break the curse of these lies and go a little deeper and find out what empire you used to run before this life that's so important that they chasing us in this lifetime trying to stop us. I mean, that's all I want to know is why. Sorry, family, I had to take that call. I apologize. So what I was asking was, why would our government be so obsessed with what we have going on? Like I said, it's time to question everything, family. It really is. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of new questions on why, would our government be so obsessed with keeping us at the bottom? Under no circumstances. We are blocked on so many levels. And I do have some new questions, and I'm going to be making another video um, talking about racism as well, giving my updated experience and feelings and emotions. Yes, because on my page, this is an experience that I'm sharing for me stepping into my power and being my true authentic self. And so I must speak the truth about what's been going on and what I have witnessed lately when it comes to racism. So I will definitely be updating that video. Just some new experience, some mind-blowing things that I'm not surprised, but it is what it is, and I do want to discuss it and talk about it. Um, and so, I just have a lot of questions. I'm going to be asking the right questions this time around for our people because, you know, even though, you know, many of us have been through so much trauma, okay? And we all have different experiences. But one thing I will say is this: it is time to address this big old giant fat elephant in the room, okay? With all the lies and the secrets about who we truly are, okay? And I'm like, this is how I feel. I am not racist by any means necessary, but there is a narrative out there, and there is a narrative that's against one so-called race of people. Okay? It's like the whole world against one particular race of people. And whether it's secretly or behind closed doors, you know, people can smile in your face all day long, but it's what they truly feel in their heart, and what their intentions are for you is what really matters in the spiritual realm at the end of the day. Okay? So I just want to discuss that. Uh, you know, it's important that we know what's going on. And I'm going to make sure I keep my tribe updated at all times. No matter what's going on, I make sure I check in and say, hey, and that is going to be the goal. But let's go ahead and move to the reason why I wanted to talk about, the reason why I wanted to make this video. Who are my ancestors? The family betrayal edition. And we're just talking about, you know, who needs enemies when you got family? Okay? And I am speaking to many of us out there, the so-called black sheep, who, don't have many friends, family, or foe around us at this point, at this time. So for me, basically where I come from, I am literally most hated in the town. Okay? And I'm most hated on both sides of my family. And literally on my mom's side, I only speak to two people. And on my dad's side, I speak to no one. And the last time I spoke to my mom's side of the family, they had invited me to a family reunion, and my experiences off family reunions is that they just get around and gossip about you, and so I just wasn't interested in bringing my energy into that atmosphere, and so we were in a group text, and they were all talking about it, and I told them I wasn't interested. And one of my family members asked why, and I told her because, you know, because of their sinful ways. She then quoted that everybody in the world sins. Okay, and so that was whew, so long ago, maybe 12 years ago. I last talked to them and we had this conversation, and so you know, I I haven't talked to them since. But when I did pull my energy back from them, everyone got mad, started defaming my name, said I thought I was better than them and I act bougie, whatever the case may be. So I totally removed my energy back from my mom's side and haven't spoken to them. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Many have tried to reach out and um, and apologize to me about certain things, and I denied the apology, and that's only because I have already forgiven them. I walk in forgiveness, so I don't hold it on my heart. My heart isn't heavy; it's light as a feather. So I've already forgiven them. I'm good. I love you from afar, and I've told them I love them. I just won't allow them back in my energy again, ever, 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 ever. So, that's my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, um, I haven't spoken to them in probably, I don't know, 12 years, maybe a little recently than that, a little bit after my grandmother passed away. And then I kind of detached. So probably in 2012, I detached from them. I was very close and loyal to both of my grandmothers. And I honored them dearly. And I will say that my grandmother on my dad's side, that situation, my grandmother, due to her fathers and her grandfathers being doctors, she had a couple dollars in the bank, but she lived very humble. Like her light bill was like only $20 a month. I mean, just a very humble lady. But she had a hearing issue. And so, her hearing wasn't 100%. So my aunt took over as like a guardian. And so she was over all business affairs, money, blah, blah, blah. So, like a little bit, I want to say when I was like 18, one of my aunts told me that this particular aunt that's guardian over my grandmother had access to 40 acres and a mule, which was due to each grandchild. All of us were supposed to get our own 40 acres and a mule, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, wow, what happened? Well, she went to court. I assume this was like years ago, and lied and told the judge that all her siblings had died in a fire. This was in a different county, maybe like in Chicago area. So, I kept that in the back of my head, you know. So, about 12 years ago, I got a phone call stating that my grandmother was in the hospital and she wanted to see me. So I'm like, okay, this is my dad's mom. I'm immediately up there. And I get up there and my grandmother's sitting there. She's not happy because even though all her father and her grandfather was a doctor, she didn't believe in going to the doctor. She had never been to the doctor. They didn't have any record of her or anything. And so she was sitting there upset. So I walk in there and she really couldn't talk to me. So my aunt, she kind of comes in and she's talking real fast. She says, yeah, she's got a clogged artery. And I'm like, okay. So, I'm thinking in my mind, well, they're going to do some tests, give her some surgery, blah, blah, blah. Well, 3 days later, she's back home. And then I get a call and my aunt's like, she wants to see you. And I'm like, okay, my grandmother keeps requesting me for a reason. But at that moment, I didn't understand why, but I do now. So I went to my grandmother's house to find out that they had put her on hospice. Okay, they did it so fast. They put her on hospice and then they gave her the medication to put her right to sleep. My grandmother did not die naturally. She was murdered by her daughter. Okay, and so finally when I figured it out, okay, I wanted to know, like, and to this day, and I still want to know what doctor signed off without, because see, in my mind, like if that was my mom and I had seven other brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews, I would have called a family meeting saying, hey, mom's got a clogged artery. What are we going to do about it? But instead, she rushed. I don't know what doctor signed up. I'm still trying to investigate this situation. And like, who signed off on it? In 3 days of her being in the hospital, she's at home on hospice, taking medicine to naturally die. Like she was good. She was good. There was nothing wrong with her but a clogged artery that, and I mean, like, can we do some tests? Can we get a second opinion? Can we get an x-ray? Can we give my grandmother a chance in life? But no, what I discovered was that, they were chasing the bag. Okay. There was, you know, tons of uh, lies and secrets that came out after the fact. And so when my grandmother took her last breath, my aunt was going through the closet. And my third eye caught a lot of things that they didn't think I knew. But so my spirit just spoke up and I said, I can't believe you murdered your own mother for money. And do you know, she got mad and called the police to have me removed from my grandmother's home while I was mourning. Now, if that is not the most evil energy you could ever be in, I just lost my grandmother and I'm mourning, I'm asking questions. And at that time, I didn't know the agenda. So fast forward now, I know the agenda, okay? I'm going to bring a picture up, even though this is not the color of my family. This picture is exactly what many families go through. As soon as Big Mama go, everybody want to rob her treasure chest. And that's exactly what happened with these greedy children of my grandmothers, okay? And then we have an attorney right here when it looks like a will. Okay. So, you know, we all have had some family betrayal. And like I said, I don't deal with any of my family. All my first cousins, here's the backfire for them. All my first cousins' children, they call me Titi. Even though I'm not their auntie, that's the energy that I give. And no, I have never said call me Titi. They call me Titi because that's the energy I give. They make sure they check in. I make sure I check in with them. You can't turn love. Love is not like a water faucet. At least my love is not. It's not like a water faucet. You can't just turn it off. So, of course, my love is always going to continue to flow. And no one can stop love. Remember, it's a frequency. It covers a multitude of sins. All right? So, yeah, I have went through some family betrayal on a major level. So now, my aunt, who I have, did my own spiritual investigation to find out what she's on. And now she's trying to attack me. And it's not going to end very well. You know, I'm just going to continue speaking my truth. And, it might hurt the family. And, at the end of the day, that's what everyone really has a problem with me is speaking truth. Um, I vibrate off that energy and I know nothing else. So, what I've learned with family is this, and I mean, especially with cousins, be very careful with your cousins and your family, okay? They are the ones that envy you the most. They've watched you grow from nothing to something, and that just sometimes fuels their fire. Okay? So you have to learn to detach from your family, friends or foe on this journey. You have to protect your energy at all times. And, sometimes that's going to be pretty hard for the family. Some of them might not take it as well. But it is a part of our journey to awaken to our true identity, pull our power back and step into our true power versus other people siphoning our energy and we not really knowing who we truly are. Okay? So, family, once again, who are my ancestors? Well, for me, I know who my ancestors are. And for many of you out there, we share the same ancestors. Okay? And my mission is to, reach out to as many of my tribe, my bloodline, okay, and to guide them to awaken to their true identity so they can ascend to the highest version of themselves. Okay? I know my purpose here, which so happens to align with my passion. Okay? So, with that being said, I am going to see you guys on the next video. I'm going to be discussing a lot more, family. All right. I think I'm going to wait to do divine dating a little later because there are some really important videos that I have been holding on to that I need to get out. I need to get out. All right. All right now, family. So, hey, be careful. Okay. Watch your back. All right. Pull your energy back if need be. Oh, that's what's coming up, family. The art of detachment. I think it's going to be part 2. I am going to go over my story of what I've been going through when I pull my energy back from not just family, my ex, business partners, what exactly I've been going through and what you need to do to pull your energy back strategically. Okay? It's not something you do right away because I'm going to explain to you the reason why you don't do it, family. So, the art of detachment is coming up. And like I said, for those that do not know, okay, the time we are in right now, all right, family, me personally, I voted for the goddess in me, okay? And I didn't vote for another deity, okay? Because when you vote, you're vowing to another deity, to a so-called uh, entity. And so I voted for the goddess in me. I've activated the goddess energy within me. So I voted and vowed, for myself. I'm not waiting on any president to make changes and make decisions for me in my life. I'm taking back the power and authority that I have as a birthright, dominion over myself, me and my children. And so, people need to understand what the plan is here. All right. We as divine beings We are not interested in protesting against anything or anybody, anymore. Our focus is we're too busy healing and building our empire. We don't have time to be protesting against anything that these so-called puppet presidents have going on. Okay, we divine beings, that's something that we do not entertain. Our focus is number one, healing our inner childhood. All right? Healing ourselves, our mind, body, and souls, connecting to our ancestors, breaking generational curses so we can build the empire back and be strong to run our empire without foreigners coming back on our land, stealing our ideas, stripping us of our identity. Okay? That's all I want. I just want peace and balance here on earth with the masculine and feminine. Okay? Truth and balance, and the real her story to be told. Because history has been one fabricated narrative that fits one side of the story, and we all know. Okay? Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. All right, now, until next time, one.